Good morning, Westeros!
And welcome to our Morning Throners podcast.
I'm Nelson.
And I'm Jeff.
And we are your Morning Throners.
And welcome back to another episode of your favorite Song by Fire podcast. We are your Morning Throners, and we got episode 5 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms on deck. Nels, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Tired. Tell you that, man. These 10 o'clock eps are tough.
Yeah, I don't like the 10 o'clock. Then it makes the podcast way too late. And I had no power. Like, power ran out. We didn't even know if we were going to be able to do the podcast. I don't have power. Came on last minute.
We persevere.
We made it work.
First thoughts.
Definitely not as good as the last ep. Fight was cool. There was stuff that I feel like is there for the show watchers that I'm sure that I had problems with just because I'm a book fan. Flashback, I don't hate. There are parts that I think make absolutely no sense, though. So I guess there are parts that I do hate. I don't like the end scene at all either.
I concur a lot with what you're saying. I don't, again, like, you're so hype on last episode, and like, it was good. Like, it wasn't the greatest fucking episode of TV.
The vibe just felt good, and the Baylor moment at the end was great.
Yeah, okay. It was better than this episode, for sure. And I didn't really care for the flashback. I fell asleep twice during it. Like, luckily it was only for like 35 seconds. I caught myself. But like, I fully dozed off, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was a little boring. I agree.
Yeah, I didn't care. It showed a little bit, but like, a lot of it is just like made up, right? Like,
made up, not in the books. Other problem is that I think there's not enough egg.
Yeah.
The kid Dunk actor isn't bad. It doesn't feel like Dunk. It just feels like a totally different character for the most part. I get that they gave him the name Dunk, but I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem to have any connection to the current Dunk.
I didn't even care for Rafe. I thought Rafe was bad. I don't know, just like.
Well, so what's interesting is in the Mystery Night, Dunk mentions a few things about 3 of his friends: Fair, Pudding, and Rafe. But it's not clear that at the time it seems like Rafe's a guy. But I bet you if you reread it, you could probably play it either way. I bet you it's not clear. So I thought that was kind of actually a cool way. And she actually mentions Fair and Pudding, the other two in this episode. I thought so. I did like that. I like the throwback.
That's cool. The big details I remember, which I'm not going to drop. I mean, I guess we could because it happened, right? We see that. Yeah,
there's really not much left to be spoiled on.
Yeah.
So I think we can probably just not even have a spoiler section for this one. I think
unless go.
I guess unless you're going to say something from the future books, just think about it before you do. But yeah, probably no spoiler section in this one. You just want to get into the chronological right away then, if we're not going to have a spoiler section?
Sure. Let me just give my first thoughts.
Sure.
I didn't care for the flashback. I thought the fight was good. I don't remember Dunk getting stuck as much as he did. Like, I feel like he should be dying as well from all the injuries that he took.
So basically, the part when in the fight, Dunk goes down right away, falls off his horse. They have the flashback. Yeah. He pretty much gets up, gets maced in the face, or gets Morningstar in the face one time by Arryn, goes back down. Yeah. Arryn walks over him, is about to hit him. Dunk rolls into his legs, and then they have the fight at the end's pretty accurate, like when they're in the mud again.
Right. I remember the shield part of the fight, but like.
But in this one, he like gets up and like fights for 5 minutes. That's all not in the books.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, that's what I have a problem with. Like, it just does, like the part when like Dunk's like falls in the mud and like falls asleep and then comes back up. Like, it's badass. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense. There are 7 other people fighting for you here. Like, and it even before that, it even showed like Maekar trying to fight his way to help Arryn, because before that, Dunk had sliced Arryn's leg and like. So what? Then they have this like 2-minute scene of Dunk doing like the fall over. The guy's gonna blow the horn, exit, and Maekar's doing what the whole time. Like, I get that. Like,
it's probably in another fight, probably in a side fight. Like,
it shows later that Baylor and but like, I don't know. Like, medieval fights don't last that long.
Was that Baylor getting hit in the head? Did a quick shot to like somebody getting hit in the back of the head? I'm assuming that was Baylor.
I don't know if there was a lot of quick cuts I didn't see.
If there's one thing about the fight, I don't think it gave enough of the other 7. Like,
I had a big problem. There was one part when Dunk and Arryn were fighting. Dunk was like pushing towards Arryn. The camera's behind Dunk's shoulder, I think. Right behind Arryn, there's just 2 Kingsguard. Looks like they're fighting no one. They're just riding on their horses still, like 5 minutes into the battle. just riding in circles.
They must be finding people that they could actually fight.
As Dunk fucks up Arryn. Like, dude, that's the guy you're supposed to protect.
You gotta respect the 1v1.
Like, I don't know, like...
Yeah. No, there's definitely details. I think this is kind of like what was the Battle of Winterfell? What was that episode called? The Long Night.
The Long Night. It's
Long Nightish, where it's like if you really slowed it down and like looked, I think on a rewatch, if you like actually paused it and like looked what was going on, I think you would find reasons to pick it apart.
Sometimes I think it's awesome. Sometimes I think it's like this just makes no sense.
Right. Cinematically, it was shot very cool. The battle was cool. I think Dunk was stuck too many times for him to like he just like steroided himself through this fight to then now be like able to pick this dude up and like carry him to the like.
It doesn't feel grounded at all.
Completely adrenaline rush out of like being dead, basically looking dead, and then got up and like had all the strength of. So yeah, I'll save more thoughts to when we get.
I also don't like that Baelor doesn't mention tourney lances.
Yeah, that's my big part about the.
Not that it actually mattered at all in the book. To be fair, it didn't end up mattering at all in the book.
It didn't help them. But they were just using tourney lances. Like everybody had a tourney.
I will say it does get mentioned later in one of the other books. Not that it really matters there either, but it gets brought up as like a strategy again. It doesn't seem to matter super much, but it's hard to tell. Yeah. In that situation.
Yeah, no, I do think it matters for that because it's something that he reflects back on if he does reflect back on it. But
yeah, just the whole Dunk reflecting back part is what you're gonna lose out there on.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into it then. I do want to walk something back. I've been giving the Egg character a lot of shit for like being pretty like one note in his delivery. Yeah. And I thought about it a lot, and I didn't rewatch or anything, but I just thought back to like other highborn people, and that's just like the highborn cadence. I really thought about how Sansa delivered her. Like when she just like was talking at court and she was very much like, yes, my lady, this is like, so I feel like the proper Egg speaks that way. And I think we're going to see Egg more and more now break out of that proper royal tone. Yeah.
Get a little more my lord instead of my lord.
Yeah. And just screaming and showing him. I'm walking that back. I've came to that realization that it was, and that's probably the biggest hint of who he was early was that he talked in that kind of very proper one-tone cadence.
So again, this is one of the other book fan problems that I'm gonna have as a book that it really doesn't matter that much, I don't think, but I really don't like it in this episode. They changed Dunk's line or Egg's line. So Egg has a line that he says a lot in like all the books, and I think at this point that it can't be what it normally is because he hasn't said it, and I think this is where it really says it for the first time. The line they give him is "Get up, sir! Get up! Get up, sir! Get up!" Right? That's what he keeps yelling throughout this whole thing. In the books, that's what Dunk yells. So Thunder falls on his hind legs, just basically slips after the first charge, and Dunk's like, get up, get up, get up. And then Thunder gets up. And then at the end, when Baelor falls, it's not as much like a in my lap. It's more, that's another problem I had. It's supposed to be like on Dunk. Like Dunk's like kneeling and then he falls on top of Dunk. And I think that all, like the way that they betrayed the last scene, like to me, that like, it's hard to fit that with Daron's prophecy. Like he was on you, but
he didn't fall. He didn't fall on Dunk. He caught Dunk.
Dunk like scooped him up at the end, basically. Yeah. It was not on Dunk.
Yeah. So no, it needed to be like, over top of the wall, in my opinion, fall over for the prophecy. And again, like I don't think anybody watching it for the first time, like I have a cousin now who I want to like text their reaction.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of so I think a lot of TV show only people are gonna like it. I think people are gonna not like the flashback in general, but I think they're gonna really like the battle. Because again, I think in general people can have a lot of disbelief for stuff like battles where you have just like Kingsguard riding in circles doing nothing just to make the background look more entertaining.
Yeah. But how long do you think the flashback was? Like I don't even want to be too tough on Rafe.
It was half the episode for sure.
But like I didn't need to see that much Rafe. Like I didn't care. They tried to make her like a main character in those 15 minutes.
The flashback's pretty early. Let's go to the chronological. So they start off, they had their like little huddle at the beginning. There's some stuff from the books here. Baelor saying, don't worry about the Kingsguard, I'll deal with them. Is that honorable? The gods will let us know. That's from the books.
So I guess it wasn't honorable if you're...
Yeah, well, that part. And then I also like the part that this is new, that Baratheon says, was like, Mother, you were the favorite child. Like, the child that was not the favorite is always going to fight a little harder or something like that, right?
But Baelor was the second son, right? So
Baelor's first son. Maegor's fourth.
Oh, so the dad's still king right now. The dad is Baelor's heir to his dad.
Baelor and Maegor's dad is king, but they're first and fourth. There's two sons in between.
Yeah, Maegor fought a little bit harder. I like that Raymond and Dunk were puking.
Yeah, that was cool.
I also don't think Raymond was wearing any armor.
Yeah, Raymond's got... I mean, it makes sense because he's got nothing, but that's crazy.
But he had to be training with more armor than what he's wearing now. It looks like he's just wearing his, like, doublet or whatever they call the top part.
He is just wearing his doublet, but I think that's all he's wearing when he's training, at least in the show, too.
No, come on. He's got to have some shit to throw on. He ain't got nothing. Lionel's the coolest looking character. I mean, the crowned, the horned helmet is just way cooler than everybody else, which makes it really suck that the Targaryen helmets aren't as cool as they, or at least ornament as ornament as they should have been.
I wish we got like a better I get they're trying to do it like from Dunk's perspective, but I wish we had like a scene like in the Targaryen huddle, because I feel like their armor does look cool. Like if you just had like all those like Baelor or Aerion and Maekar and even Baelor who's in Valar's armor, if you just had those three standing, you got like a nice like panning shot, you'd be like, damn. Like they all got like like spikes on their shoulder pads and like I don't know. At least Aerion's helmets, I think it is pretty cool.
I don't like the face of it. I think the face looks pretty stupid, but
I don't know. I think it's all cool.
I think the concept of it is cool, but I don't care for the face.
What do you think about like just Dunk's look?
Fine. He looks like a solid knight.
I like it. I agree with you that like it gets a little cartoony. It doesn't feel as much like Game of Thrones. Starts feeling more like Marvel or like a superhero movie when they start like just stabbing him 100 times and he is just fine. It literally gets a hole in his hand like early on, right? And just like that doesn't affect him later in the battle.
I thought he just like savagely was. I mean, even the first lance goes through him.
That's in the book, but again, in the book, all that happens is he gets a lance through him, falls off his horse immediately, gets one more morning star to the face, and then it's a punch. Then he beats Aerion with a shield, and that's it. So it's literally like lance.
Well,
face.
I think you need to do a little bit more for the show. You couldn't just have him get lance to mace and then like him beat the shit out of Aerion.
Exactly. So I get it. Like the show watchers show only people would not like if it was as short as it really is. But
I actually like that Aerion was way more talented, or at least trained. You know, the way he was moving. Dunk was just a brute and was pretty strong with it. But yeah, just being stick too many times. Like he obviously it looked like he died. Everyone thought he was dead, which we knew he wasn't. But and then he just gets up and goes fucking Mike Tyson.
We keep jumping into the fight. Back to the pre-fight. The other thing I think that is new but I like that they added is the little Duncan egg, which is weird. Like shouldn't Egg be like kind of nearby?
Down helping?
Like I guess in this they don't get to reload their lances.
Yeah. I guess not.
Egg was worried about it in training for it. Like there was 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, but that was when it was normal tourney shit.
I'm just saying when you have these episodes that are 30 minutes and then you're like, there's no time dedicated to that thought. I don't like that. I don't hate that plot line. But there's like probably over those episodes, there's like 5 minutes dedicated to that plot line between Egg like being worried in the one and then training in the next one. Like you could use this for something else if you're just not going to have that be and who knows, there's one more episode, but like I don't see that coming to be important.
Or have Egg just doing it from down below. Like
they just have him like he doesn't end up needing to reload anyway, so just put him down below and have him be a little nervous like as if he's going to have a part to play. I'm looking at it still right now. It looks like Baelor's got 2 squires with him like on the field. Like where's the like after Egg's already run off. Right. Or as Dunk saying it's goodbyes, I guess. So maybe they're about to run off too. But.
Egg was also in a normal like black robe, and then was in full Targaryen garb in the stands. I'm pretty sure. Like he changed.
You're right. He's in like a full.
He's just kind of wearing like a black robe. It looked like, and then he's in
like a black linen shirt basically, and then he's got. It might just be something he put on over top though. It's hard to tell.
Yeah,
but I did like the goodbye that basically they have before like Dunk's like you better be waiting here when I get back.
The wolf made me smile.
Egg's bark back at him. Yeah, pretty cool.
Not wolf.
You're right. He's totally more dressed up when he gets in the stand. So I don't know.
Does he tell? He doesn't have a goodbye like that in the books, though, does he?
No, he doesn't. It might be a thing where, like, in the show, he's not allowed to be Dunk's squire because his brother. Like, I guess that makes sense. Like, his brother and dad, 2 of his brothers and dad are on the other side. Like, Maekar might not just like let that happen.
I guess
like, he snuck out to talk and help Dunk find his people, but he might not be able. I don't know. He technically he does hand up. I don't know.
I'm not that worried about it.
The other guys do look like they have squires here with them, like pre-fight, but whatever.
I think it would be much cooler if they did care about the details of having war lances and the tourney lances, just like the strategy of that is pretty cool, right? Like
it doesn't end up mattering at all, to be fair, but yes, I do like it.
It didn't matter, but it's at least a thought, right? It's these 7 hooligans going up against 7 of the best knights, minus Darren.
And again, it shows Baylor's honorable. It shows he's not trying to kill anybody out here if he can help it.
Yeah. I think that huddle up could have spent a minute more. I don't think it would have took more than a minute in just that huddle of just giving those characters some more light.
Yeah. The other thing they do is when there is a little section of the fight before the flashback. Basically, they blow the horn, everyone charges, Dunk's late.
Yep.
That's from the book, but like he's way late here. In the book, it basically says that Dunk forgot to like give Thunder the heals, but Thunder knew what to do anyway. So like they were like half a step behind,
not 50 yards behind.
I get it's hard to show that. I thought what they were going to do is they were going to make
It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
I feel it's a little hard to show that like Dunk didn't know what he was doing, what the horse was. I thought what they were going to do, especially because of the egg training scene, was they were going to make it so Dunk forgot and Egg yells go, and then Thunder immediately goes. They do have Egg yell go.
Yep.
Thunder still like just he doesn't like take off right away. Yeah, like I wish they would have had like Thunder go. Then that would have been cool. Like Egg is contributing like in a first-hand way that we can all like see.
Yeah, appreciate. And it does go back to like they spent the time training where Dunk and Thunder probably haven't.
Yeah, patching jeans. So he charges, he gets the lance to the side, gets knocked down,
pulls it out.
I think does he stand up?
He stands up, pulls it out, gets hit in the head with the mace.
I think he gets hit in the head with a mace. No, he just goes straight down. This is where he goes down. When he comes back, he stands up. He does get hit by Makar, I think. I could tell that he gets like Makar and then like turns his face to the left because he got swung and then hits on the other side and then Aryan. So like double bang bang. The fight scenes look cool sometimes. So I'm not shitting on it completely.
Yeah, no. Again, I think it was very visually good, and I think it's almost like ever since they shot kind of like the Battle of Bastards, like how John kind of like swings through shit or whatever. Like they've got a good recipe of how to film very.
It started cool getting like even Game of Thrones started getting a little marvelly there.
Yeah, like you're just kind of running by.
Yeah,
people not fighting people.
Well, I mean, you're just taking so many injuries that it's unrealistic. You're continuing. Like I get that, like the hero just like can take as many as he wants and not get hurt, but
right. So Makar uses the mace, which is the ball at the end of the stick, right? And Aryan is using a Morning Star because it's on a chain. Is that true?
What you're saying is the terms that I'm going to use because that's what George uses. However, technically, George is wrong about a Morning Star. A mace is basically a club. It's like a stick with a ball at the end.
A stick with a ball at the end, right? Which is what Makar is using.
We'll get back to what people are using in a second. In the real world, a mace is basically a stick with a ball at the end. A Morning Star is a stick with a ball at the end that has spikes on it.
Okay.
And then a flail is a stick with chains and a ball and or a ball with spikes at the end.
Gotcha.
George never mentions flail just because it doesn't sound as cool.
I don't think anybody has ever mentioned a flail though. Like if you think Morning Star, you think of chain ball. You do because you've read a lot of George books, and that's what George means when he says Morning Star. But that's not what it really is. But I think even like,
and I would say so. That's Gladiator, why I hesitated. And that's why I hesitated. You might be right. And that's why I hesitated when you said so. Makar uses a mace because technically Makar uses a Morning Star. His has spikes on it, so technically he is using a Morning Star, and Aryan's using a flail. Okay. Fact check me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. I think that's right though. Yeah. So then we get to the flashback. Dunk falls in the mud. I like the mud seeps in and it goes black.
Yeah.
And flashback. He starts off looting. I think this is him looting the Redgrass Field.
Had to be.
I don't know if we know where the Redgrass Field is, but I just Googled it right now and it says it's a field.
Well, you can see King's Landing in the
back. near King's Landing. I don't think we know exactly where it is, but it says near King's Landing. I never realized it was that close to King's Landing, but
yeah, because you can see it in the background.
So when they go in and sell the stuff, the guy at the shop they sell to says like people will be looting that field for years to come.
Yeah.
Which makes it seem like, oh, this might be a year or 2 years after the Redgrass. But there's a guy here. There's a Frey guy.
Nah, that was fresh. That was like an hour after the battle.
This was like a day or two tops.
You know what would have been cool real quick on the Redgrass Field is if that's where Stannis and Renly met when they kind of had their like what's up, brother? Like, kind of like Civil War type shit, but like, because I think they meet outside of Storm's End, right? But
yeah.
if they met at the Red Grass Field, that would be more symbolic.
Oh, if this is the location that Renly and Stannis should have met.
Yeah.
In a symbolic way. Yeah. Well, who knows? We might get that with like.
What do you mean?
In the books, we have 3 potential Targaryens, right? We have Fagon, Dany, Jon.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying another Civil War? Another meet on the Red Grass?
You know, people. George likes his like repeat history, like mirroring history through history. So
that would be cool.
Frey guy dying.
Yeah, fuck the phrase. Did you like that they brought so much Blackfire into this?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought they would have brought more. You
think it was a good amount?
The thing is, I think George would have put more than this in the books if he had thought of it at the time.
Right.
It's just like timing wise, he hadn't even thought of the Blackfire Rebellion, but like
it's a good way to introduce it to TV first people.
Yeah, it's going to be important in the next 2 shows, so it's a good reason. They have a good reason to mention it, and just like it makes sense. Like
it's history. It's not forgotten about history.
Yeah, I mean it's very important history that like people are very still fresh about. In the next 2 books, why wouldn't people be at least mentioning it? Yeah, at this time, which is slightly earlier. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they loot. He's got his friend Raph. They were gonna kill him, and they try and save him. Rafe. They can't. So then they're walking back down Forrest Gump's driveway. She's trying to get money to sail away. She wants to get the fuck out of here, go to the Free Cities.
Yep.
There's somebody that walks by with it looks like they're like a bounty hunter almost. They got like a body.
Was it not like a gold cloak person?
No, I think it was a Stokeworth.
The guy with the club? What are you saying?
When they're on Forrest Gump's driveway. Like the long walkway with trees.
Why are you calling it Forrest?
The long walk.
Okay. You're being symbolic. Okay.
I don't know what, like, you know what I'm talking about now though.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the dude on the horse. They quick hide under the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Stokeworth that has like a body. I was thinking like, is that the body that they were trying to get? They were just too little, they couldn't get it out, but this grown man with horses was able to pull it out.
I didn't pay any attention to it. Again, I literally fell asleep probably at this moment. I was like, oh fuck. Let me wake up.
But basically, this is when she's saying, like, I want to go back. We're trying to get money so we can go to the Free Cities.
Yeah.
And Dunk's like, well, and it's not clear. He just says, like, I don't know if I want to do that, I think. Later, he mentions that he kind of wants to stay and wait to see if he knows who his mom is.
Yeah.
I really hope they don't go down this, like, plot line of, like, who's Dunk's parents. Like, I think part of the charm of, like, Dunk is, like...
He has no idea.
But you don't need to be like, that's what I like about Jon Snow is like, I like the idea that Jon Snow might just be like a fucking bastard of Ned and some random girl from an inn. Exactly. Just because like,
yeah, I don't think you need to spend any time on Dunk's heritage.
Yeah, you do.
Especially because like, to your point, like anybody can rise up.
I think that's part of the message. So if you start spending time on like, who's my mom? Like, I want to wait around for my mom. Yeah. Like, I don't hate the idea. Like, yes, an orphan obviously would want to wait around for his mom, even though everyone's saying like she's already dead. Like, I don't hate like Dunk having that. Like,
why would he think she's dead though? Like, if he has no evidence of who she is or was, why would he think she's dead? And also, why would she think that she could randomly spot a now looking 16-year-old kid and be like, "Wow, you're my kid"? He doesn't have a birth certificate. Like, let's go back to the whole Game of Thrones problem again. Like, oh, you're my mom. Like, fuck off. No, you're not. Like,
even in our world, like some of that shit, like there was no way to know until
genetic testing,
like Ancestry. Yeah, exactly. Like Ancestry.com, 23andMe, and that kind of shit. Yeah, so they get to King's Landing. There's this guy who's trying to take their shit. They take his shit. He's got a hand missing, which implies he's been caught for thievery in the past, right?
Okay. I was trying to make out who he was. I thought he was a gold cloak.
No, I don't think they mentioned it. I think he's like just like another thief, but just like bigger and kind of picks on the little
makes
thieves.
Sense. But he's like armored up a little bit more.
He's got, I think he's been around the block a little bit, I guess, and he's older.
Because he was armored up, I thought he was a gold cloak. But it makes sense now that he doesn't have a hand because he was a thief too.
I think he implies that at one point. Like
he does.
I didn't think that right.
It makes sense.
He says something later.
He was like, "Oh, I used to have quick hands too." They, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then he like kind of shows his stump. I think, yeah. So.
And the girl steals 2 silver off of him, or just his wine.
I think just his wine.
Okay.
Then they sell the stuff, and that's when the guy mentions, like, you got to take this Blackfire leather. Like, Damon's dead. I'm not carrying that shit around here.
Couldn't you just like, I don't know, change it?
I don't know. I don't know if that's how leather works, but that's when Duncan, her.
I think it was just to really drop the black. I think that was the first time Blackfire was actually dropped.
Yeah, I think like if you read the books, you could guess that they were at the Redgrass field. But yeah, if you didn't, that was the first mention. That's when they go down below. Dunk talks about his mom. Like, I'm going to wait for his mom. And then...
They love each other. They love each other.
They do love each other. I was like, oh no, something's going to happen.
Dunk's first love interest. Little kissy kiss. But no, they were giving me like pals.
She's like, go out and get a family. I did like that part. Kind of reminded me of the whole Arya and Gendry part.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm your family.
I could be your family.
I could be your family. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, you'd be my lady.
I was just feeling that Dunk wasn't feeling the move to the Free Cities, but like him becoming a knight, I don't think is really what was his mind. I wish. Yeah. So let's just keep going. So then they go to try to buy passage. The rent or the fares doubled because everybody's trying to go.
Dunk should have just been gone like, you go then.
You go. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll both be happy.
Yeah.
But no.
I thought that was what he was going to do. Was like, all right, like, take it. I'll sacrifice myself.
I don't know if she would have taken that well, like especially around Valentine's Day. She would have been like, "Wow, this was supposed to be like a romantic getaway."
But it could have been like, is that the biggest evidence of love, the self-sacrifice? But
yeah, exactly.
But Dunk didn't want to go, so it's fake. It would be fake sacrifice.
Yeah.
And so they get walking, and then the thief catches them and is like, "Hey, like, all right, girl, like, give me back my ale skin." And then he has a pal that comes up from the behind with the spear.
Yeah,
and
they end up getting their money stolen, but then at the end, she ends up when they walk away, she steals his knife.
Pretty stupid to just steal it and then walk away with it. She could have stole it and then.
I don't hate it. I don't hate the move, but you just have to be aware that, like, when he comes up and grabs it, how the fuck does he disarm you and then kill you with it? Like, you have to be ready. Like, you have to have your hand on that, and as soon as you feel somebody or hear him walking, just be like, stab, like, above your head.
Yeah.
Or
at least like peek back, have a little head on a swivel.
Yeah.
But she could have just pulled dagger, stabbed him right away. She could have just stuck the guy right away.
Yeah, or sneak it to Dunk so that when he comes up and tries to get it back from her, like Dunk like stabs. I don't know. That was just it didn't make sense.
I do like that Dunk was pretty strong in the fight, right? Like and then he got stabbed in the calf.
Here's why I also don't like the flashback. Like, the timing of it is bad. Like, I thought they were gonna come back from like he was gonna somehow win some flea bottom fight where he's like. Maybe he even got like a sword of some kind, and then it ended up like going from his hands, and he wins this like gutter fight and like brawling with his fist, and then it was gonna cut back to Arian and him in the mud brawling in the fist. But like when it comes back from the flashback, he like jumps back up on his feet, like, and then fights like a knight, like tries to fight like a knight, not well, but he's like
he did.
He tries to fight,
but he did not. He was not the better knight, that's for sure.
But it doesn't seem to have much to do with the flashback to me. I guess is part of my problem with the flashback. But yeah, so they do the flashback. They're getting fucked up, or Raph dies. Rafe.
It's Rafe.
Rafe dies. Arlen comes out.
Raph the Sweetling. You're going Raph the Sweetling.
Yeah.
Rafe. She gets her throat slit. Dunk fights a bit. Then he starts losing, and the spear guy stabs him in the calf. I was a little worried because after the fight, he doesn't really like tend to it at all, but then they do show it later on, and then he does have a pretty serious limp, and then it does look like he has a fever type of thing too, but he's also freezing. I thought Arlen was pretty badass. Him being a drunkard is...
So hang on, here's the thing about the drunkard thing. I was thinking this too, but just as we were talking about it, the red grass just happened. His squire, who was his cousin, died on the red grass. He probably saw a lot of his friends die. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people drinking just from like PTSD, like some horrible shit just went down. If like, not that makes it better. We saw him just be a drunkard.
It doesn't give that vibe. It gives celebratory. I'm just a drunk. I'm a drunk. He's a drunk fool when he's a drunk. He just is running around dancing and singing.
Like, I'm just trying to drink the sorrow away, and I end up being a drunk fool. Plus, I guess the one thing you can say about Arlen in this is like he kind of knew what he was doing. Like, he's fighting two gutter rats. Like, they're not well trained. It's not like he's fighting other trained knights, but it looked like he knew what he was doing, and it was kind of like a Jack Sparrow-y way of doing it, like half street fight, half like real knight fight, which I kind of liked.
Blacked out drunk, like he was blacked out.
He was hammered. Yeah. Didn't even say 2 words to Dunk.
But it was honorable. It was honorable that he came out and protected the weak or the innocent, however you want to.
Yeah. And then Dunk starts following him right away. Dunk sleeps like hurt for a while. You're right. He doesn't tend to do it, but I guess he like somehow just like heals up without putting medicine on it. I mean, they didn't have medicine back then anyway. Like what else?
Yeah.
What's a macer gonna do? Just gonna tell you to sleep I guess.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he could singe it, right? Or like try to heat up his little knife that he had and do something. He just didn't do anything to it.
Yeah. You're right. There was a lady at one point walking around with a hot knife. That's probably what she was doing. It was like cauterizing wounds, but I don't know. But yeah, so then eventually Dunk sees Arlen walk out of the city, and he follows, and he's sleeping under this tree with his horses. Kind of cool. Mm-hmm. He starts playing with the sword, putting the helmet, like about to put the helmet on, talking to the horses. I thought Arlen was gonna wake up, and I thought it was gonna be really cool. It didn't seem like a Dunk thing, but if Dunk would have taken the sword, put the hat on, the helmet on, and got on the horse, it would have been like playing around with it, and
like
then,
eggish.
Exactly. They would have had the exact same moment, but no, like. They don't actually show if Arlen wakes up in there. And then the next is like a montage of like Arlen being like going on his way, being drunk a lot of the time, and Dunk following. Does Arlen know he's following?
He's way too close. He's way too close to not know. He's like 25 yards behind him.
So yeah,
it's the worst. It's the worst tail ever. But also, did Dunk want? He like half wants him to like, hey, I'm following you, but then I'm not going to sleep near you.
I'm going to actually blame this on the director. I think this is horrible directing. Like, I think it's just super unclear what the intention is. Like, are we supposed to, unless they're trying to be like, it's unclear, unless they want it to be unclear if he's a squire at this point or not. Like, because no. I could have seen like he woke up and he was a squire and Arlen is just a dickhead and not letting him ride a horse. So he's walking. And that's what I thought the first 2 cuts. Was that Arlen woke up when he was playing with his shit, made him a squire, but he was not letting him walk. But then, like, there's like 6 or 7 cuts here where he's like cutting and it's raining and he cuts and.
No, I don't
think.
And
there's somewhere it looks like he's hiding behind a tree. There's a few where it looks like he's hiding from him.
He is. I think it was the worst tail ever. Like, unless. I don't think until the end. I think that last, like, get up, boy, or whatever he says to him. The get up is the first time Arlen even acknowledges Dunk. That's how I took it.
Yeah, that's how I ended up taking it too. At first, I thought like maybe he was a squire ready. The get up thing, I think,
but he didn't wake up. He didn't wake up when he was playing with his stuff.
That we saw it cut. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm gonna pretend that he woke up and took him into his service there.
Think about season 8 when. Arya, Jon, and Bran and Sansa are talking, and Jon and Bran are like, "Are you going to tell him or I?" Basically, tell Sansa and Arya about Jon being a Targaryen, and then it just cuts away. We don't see that either. So, like that, it's one of those things.
That's a little bit different. No,
it is the same thing.
It's not even close to the same thing.
I think it was just really poorly done, just like from a directing standpoint. Like, it's unclear. It's just.
I just think, again, the tail was like, he was walking literally right behind him. Also, would he really be able to keep up with him on his foot? All.
Exactly.
And he's got a fresh horse. And,
that's part of why I think it has to be he's a squire.
No.
It just doesn't make sense. It's like the logic of it doesn't make sense. And
he wasn't a squire. If he was a squire at that point, then Arlen's a dickhead.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Then that doesn't make any fucking sense either for the Arlen that you love.
You know, I have problems with Arlen. I don't think they did him any favors in this one. Again, I don't think they made him any worse than already.
I thought they made him a little bit better. But again, I don't think he took him in until the end of the flashback when he said, get up. I think that was the first time he ever acknowledged Dunk.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. Dunk gets up after the flashback, back to the fight. He gets fucked up a lot.
Just some, like, serious stabs. Like, a couple daggers into the side, right? Like, deeply in.
Yeah.
There's one that goes into his leg, which I feel like
through his hand.
But I think the leg one's even more serious, right? Because especially like the same as Arryn, like there's arteries around there. Yeah. He gets fucked up, and they kind of are in a fucked up standoff, and then Dunk lays down.
Yeah, I don't understand on it too much. The fight scene is cool. Like again, from just like from like a movie scene or like a TV show fight scene. It's a cool fight scene. It just like it's not what the books are. It's a little too comic-y for me. The books are again. I thought the show was going to do a little bit better. I don't know. The show so far has been very down to earth. Right, it feels more like season.
Yeah. I'm not going to compare it too much to the other seasons.
I don't know. The example I always give is like John in the books. John burns his hand in season 1. Mm-hmm. We just read we read the first John chapter of Dance with Dragons recently. There's a moment where he flexes his burned hand. It's been like 2 years in book time. Like that's still an injury that he deals with, and he's not as good because of it. Like this is one of the things where like you just Dunk got stabbed through the hand.
Are we sure that in those book moments we're not talking about like flex the scarred hand? Like he's just saying this was the hand that was burned.
Yeah, but he like keeps it loose because for a while Eamon told him to like.
Yeah, because I think scars tighten up too, but
it might just be a muscle memory tick at this point too. But the point is still like
just think like scar tissue.
Yeah, but my point here is Dunk just got stabbed through the hand, stabbed 1,000,000 times. It's not going to mean anything next book.
Well, it's not going to mean anything next episode. I bet he's walking around pretty normal.
I don't know. I think there's a time cut in the books, but whatever.
Yeah. I'll say the biggest thing about the fight that I have is that they didn't show the other 6 fighters on each side any real love. Like you got some cool storylines out there, like Ryman and what's his name died, which I don't know if we know in the books till the end either. But I feel like we are at least know.
Well, on the people that die are Baelor and then the 2 Humphreys on Dunk's side. I think some of the Kingsguard get fucked up and injured, but I don't think anybody on that side dies, actually.
Yeah. I just think it would have been a little bit better if we saw and could comprehend, because it was very fast, which, again, I don't mind because it was pleasing to the eye. But I wanted to see Sir Lionel fight a little bit. I wanted to see Baelor and Maekar and the Kingsguard kind of like, oh shit, we can't do anything here. Like, what do we do? Moment, but it was a lot of centered on Dunk and Arian, which isn't bad too. But I don't know.
I think the directors and like the showrunner has said like we want this to seem like it's from just from Dunk's POV, and they even like I watched the
that makes sense.
I watched the YouTube clips when it comes out with like the 8-minute. You know how if you watch after the episode, it'll show you like a clip of the preview of the next episode. And recently, it's not even been the next episode. It's been like
I'd turn it off
the rest of the season. But if you watch after that, you know how they show like the little interviews with the showrunners and stuff. Yeah. In the episode where Egg ran off early with Thunder and was training with him, they're like, we really wanted to not have any scenes that weren't from Dunk's perspective, but we decided to put this one in because we thought it was good and then they went off and talked about why they thought the scene was good. But I hadn't even noticed that like up until that point, every scene had basically been Dunk's POV. Dunk. So I think that's part of the reason. And again, like I said earlier, I wanted a scene like in the huddle of the bad guys pre-fight. So I'm not saying it's a bad thought, but I think that would be the excuse the showrunner gives you is we wanted it to be from Dunk's POV.
And that makes sense. Like I said, that makes sense. I just wanted to see maybe Dunk when he took his helmet off and had a little bit more vision.
I hated that.
I don't like that he took his helmet off. It also
that's so bad. Again, they didn't make a big deal about it in the show, but in the books, like Steely Pate kind of makes a big deal about how like Dunk's like, I want a helmet with a visor, and he's like, no visors. Like visors are points of weakness. Like you do not want a visor. And
his helmet failed pretty quickly.
And the way it goes, I think in the books is like I said, they cut out all the actual like fighting after the horse part. Dunk pretty much falls off his horse, and then from then on, there is a short part where he's on his feet, but basically from then on, he's on the ground with Arian. And when Arian pulls out his dagger in the show, he stabs Dunk. In the books, Dunk's winning by that point. He's already like hit him in the face with the shield a bunch of times, and Dunk takes the dagger from Arian, flips up his visor, and then is like, yield. And I think that's how Arian ends up yielding.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's something along those lines. So I think I don't know. That's it kind of came down to the whole visor thing. And I think Dunk says at one point later to Egg, like, oh, it came down to the visor. So I didn't like when Dunk took his helmet off. I'm like, I don't like that. I think he does.
I just wanted to give an excuse, like to scan the battlefield at that point. Like, all right, like what the fuck's going on here? Again,
slight spoiler for one of the feature novellas. I think Dunk ends up taking his helmet off in one of the big fights in one of the feature novellas, but I think there's like a good reason for it. So
is it the river fight?
Yeah, exactly. We won't say more than that, just in case anybody hasn't read it. I don't want to spoil it too much because we're saying no spoiler section. But
you could cut that out if you really want to.
No, I think that's fine to say. I was going to say something like that. The water fight. Yeah.
Yeah, so he plays possum. I actually thought he was playing possum. I wanted him to play possum, and
when
then
he fell over,
and then Aaron like walks over, and then like, or him kind of rise up a little bit more like Michael Myers style. But
yeah, I mean, again, it's cool and it's dramatic. I just things like this, like I'm in the moment, and I'm like, it's one of the things like where it's so realistic, you don't even feel like you're watching a show, like you feel like you're there, and then like something happens, and just like takes you out, and you're like, oh, I'm watching a show again, and like when like Dunk fell over, I'm like, this is a trial by 7, like where's everybody else? And there's like dramatic music playing, and there's just like Dunk like sleeping on the court, like. There are 7 other people who are here all to kill Dunk. Like everyone else is Dunk's protectors. Like you're not gonna keep them away from Dunk if he's out here taking a nap in the fucking mud, even if Arian's a little bit hurt. Like I don't know, it just took me out of it for a little bit.
I didn't mind it. I'm not that big of a.
The other problem I had was
I'm not giving it that big of a minus, but
they're literally about to blow the horn on Dunk, right?
Yeah.
And everyone is watching the Dunk and Arian part of this fight. The crowd, literally the referee, Lord Ashford. But yet, like 30 seconds later, when Dunk beats the shit out of Arian, he has to pull Arian over
and
hold him up. Like
now, say it louder. Say you yield louder.
Yeah, like that. Like say it louder is apart from the book. But again, like it all
dragging him over there.
It's within like 2 minutes of the start of the fight. Like exactly, and like there's still shit popping off everywhere because it makes sense that there's still. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just think the logic of it doesn't make the logic of the trial by 7. Doesn't make sense, like you said in the last episode.
I said that, yeah. Like, why am I fighting you when it's these 2 people?
And I think the longer the the trial takes place, the less it makes sense. Like in the books, we learned that the Humphreys died. I don't know if does Stefan say it?
I don't remember.
Did I say that already?
What?
I think I did earlier in this episode.
That people die.
Yeah, that the 2 Humphreys die, and then Baylor. We saw that.
Well,
I think Stefan at one point says that they died in the. I think Stefan does say it. We'll find out. Let me see.
We don't see Stefan
after the battle before Baylor dies. In this one, we do.
Stefan's not there.
Raymond.
It's Raymond. Right. It's Raymond and Steely Pate.
Raymond, I meant.
Yeah, Raymond. I thought Raymond says Riling and somebody else. I didn't think it was the Humphreys. I thought it was maybe one of them was Humphrey. I thought the one-eyed guy died.
Has anyone died? Beesbury and Harding. In the first charge. Yeah, so maybe I'm remembering it from here, not even in the book. Raymond says that Beesbury and Harding, who are the 2 Hardings, Beesbury, or not Harding, the 2 Hardings, Harold, Humphrey, Beesbury, and Humphrey Harding, both died. The 2 Humphreys, not the 2 Hardings.
Their first
the 2 Humphreys. The Humphrey, their first names were the same. They died in the first charge, and then Baylor ended up dying at the end. My point is, they died in the first charge. So Dunk's team.
What are the other 2? They're down 2 already.
They're down
5v7
immediately, and then this is like a 12-minute battle. Like again, in the books, it's like a 2-minute battle. So the trial by 7 doesn't make sense, which is fine. But the longer you make it last, the less sense it starts making. Especially when you have like long, drawn out, like 40-minute dramatic sections.
Your point is like, how is Raymond alive when he would have been fighting Stefan
without armor?
Without armor, and then another cat or 2 could have just came on and 3v1'd him real quick. And we know how that goes from Battlefront 2, Heroes v Villains. You just can't win a 2v1, 3v1.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of the things where like I feel like the Game of Thrones things. One of the things I love about Game of Thrones include all the spin-off stuff, Fire and Blood, House of Dragon. Yes, it's fantasy, but it's like so grounded. Like I said, I think the example about John's hands are a good one, but there's so many things like if somebody gets hurt, they're hurt for forever. Like it's not something that like 2 chapters later it's not even a thing. Like they remember that for forever, and it kind of sucks, especially if it's serious. So
yeah, but it's drama.
This obviously isn't how they're doing this show. So
it's drama. You need a little bit of drama.
Yeah,
but I don't have anything else for the fight. I just have really the last scene.
Yeah, last scene.
I thought the majority of it was good, and I really think just the angle of Baylor falling would have just been much more accurate and a better.
I just wish I wish Dunk would have stayed on his knee. Like he gets on his knee, says "I'm your man." Then they like put him back on the chair.
Yeah.
And like on the bench, and then Baylor falls and Dunk like scoops him up at the end. Like I agree. Like I just they somehow would have staged it better so that Dunk was on his knee closer to the fall, and then he just gets fallen on.
Or he could have just been sitting down, and then Baylor just comes over and was closer to him when they took off his helmet, but they wanted the big back of the skull reveal. I didn't know how they were going to do that.
I thought it did it well. Yeah.
I thought they did it well. I thought it was cool. Or if they were just going to have him collapse on him, and then like as he collapsed, it was going to be like, holy shit, the back of his head's not there. End scene.
I kind of wanted Steely Pate to look in the helmet because Steely Pate's holding the helmet.
Yeah.
And I think in the book they say something about like a half of a brain drops out off his head or out of the helmet or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted him to like look into it, like Steely Pate to like be like,
oh shit. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Like look at both and be like, holy shit.
But I do like that Raymond's eyes light up, right? Like, oh my god.
And I love the Dunk actor. I think maybe one of the worst delivered lines is when Baylor first falls. He's just like, and I get like he's injured, and maybe that's why it just sounds so like not passionate. But he's like, "Get up, sir." It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't.
It just did. I don't know. The last.
It just gave me Saving Private Ryan vibes. Like
he goes he says it a few more times afterward. It feels more passionate.
He says it for like 2 minutes.
The first one, I'm just like, dude, did you even care? What, like, he's just like, get up, sir. I'm like, are you reading that off a piece of like, I don't know.
It just was giving me Saving Private Ryan vibes where Baylor could have just looked up to Duncan and just said, "Earn this."
Earn it.
And
that would have been good.
And then end scene.
I see that now. I was not getting that vibe, but I see it now.
Because he's like saying I'm sorry and shit like that, right? It would have just been like, you didn't need to say earn this, but that's what I was thinking of. Like, damn, Dunk's gonna think about this moment, and hopefully that's a big driving motivation for him.
I'm trying to think of what I want to rate this. It's interesting because like I realize that a lot of my critiques are just because it's different from the books. I don't know if it's necessarily like
Yeah,
the thing is, I think it earns.
It's dramatized. I think it's the dramatization.
I think when the scenes are different from the books, I'm fine with it. When the vibe and like what I feel like the meaning in the books is like different, then that's when I have the problem. And I think on this one, at least for the fight, for the most part, Dunk. The point is, Dunk is not a good knight fighter. He's a good like street baller.
He's a brawler. He's Rocky Balboa. That's another vibe I got. He's Rocky Balboa.
Yeah. And again, what I was gonna say is, I kind of asked you, what do you think about Dunk's look? I think at the beginning he looks okay. He looks like a Hedge Knight. He looks like a down to the guy, nothing special. I think once he's all muddied up and bloody and he falls asleep in the mud and he stands back up Rocky style, like we're not done yet. Like I think he looks pretty
His
badass.
left eye is completely closed.
Yeah, I think he looks kind of badass. Like the armor, like the low-born armor looks good in that like beat up state. I don't know. I think again, it looks badass. But and I feel like the vibe, like I said, my point is when the vibe's different, I have a problem. I think they kept the vibe. He's not a good fighter, but he's got that Rocky mentality, that like street fighter mentality. I don't think I had as much problems with the flashback as you.
I don't have that big of a problem. I just think it was long, and I fell asleep during it. It almost kept me from not being here right now because I could have fallen asleep.
Yeah, they didn't save Arlen.
They didn't save him. I think they made him a little bit better. I thought.
What did I say episode 1 was? What did I rate episode 1?
Were we in the 7s?
You were in the 7s. You were.
I think I was 7-1. I thought you were like high 7, 7-6 or 7-7.
I feel like this is crazy. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go 7-9 on this one.
I don't think it's that bad. It's not in the 7s. You're way too low.
I'm gonna go 8-1. I'm gonna go 8-1 on it. I'm gonna go 8-1 on it.
It's way too low. It's an 8-9.
We'll see. We'll see what. I think between the two of us, we're pretty good at averaging out to an
8-4.
I think generally between the two of us, we average out to like the pot. Sometimes, like I feel like here, that's a pretty wild, almost a whole point off. I think we have a pretty wild gap, but I feel like we're gonna average out to the people.
You got to think though. There's how many people are watching this for the first time and don't give a fuck about what you're thinking.
You're right.
About the book.
This will average in the 9s for sure. Just because
this is gonna be like a 9-5, I bet, because people
it's a cool battle.
Because it's like Battle of the Bastards ish in Dunk and Egg form.
And Baylor dying is gonna be a big surprise for
Baylor dying is bigger than him riding out of the gates. Like you can't say Baylor riding out of the gates is more epic than his head not being there. If you didn't know he didn't have half a head, that's way more epic.
Yeah, I guess this is like from a reader's perspective. This is from like a die-hard fan like of this novella perspective.
You're being too die-hard with your 7-9.
8-1. We're locked in at 8-1. 8-1, 8-9.
it just makes your last episode rating so much worse.
I agree with the last one. The vibe was like it felt like I was reading the novella. This one did not feel like I was reading the novella. It felt like I was watching a Marvel movie. And that's my problem with it.
It's just way too high.
Which again, I like Marvel movies. It's just like, I don't know. Not my boy, not my Game of Thrones. I like it. Again, it's 8-1 isn't bad.
I don't think you did. You didn't.
8-1 isn't bad.
I gave the last episode a 9-1 and you like shit down my throat.
I feel like people are not going to like this episode, how negative I'm being on the Cool Battle episode. It's the penultimate episode of a Game of Thrones season, the Cool Battle one.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're realistic. What do you want? Like, subscribe anyway.
I mean, again, I thought it was very visually pleasing. I actually don't mind that the battle went longer, but again, it doesn't make much sense when you find out that people have died and there's just it becomes a 7v5. Like, that doesn't...
2 people died on the initial charge and then no one after until Baelor sometime
until
in the middle.
Baelor didn't have half a head, which I think somebody gets hit in the back of the head with a mace or a flail or whatever the fuck you want to call it, a Morning Star.
I bet you see it. I bet you if you go back and
I think you do. I think it's like a quick cut from Dunk and Arion fighting, and it's like a 2v1, and somebody does get hit in the back of the head. I didn't get to see it fast enough to tell who it was.
I think you're right, because I think the one thing I remember about the fight is because I said it in the books too. I think it says Maekar tries to fight his way towards Arion at one point, but Baelor and Lionel are fighting him off, or Lionel's trying to fight him off, and then the Kingsguard are fighting Lionel, and Baelor's trying to stop the Kingsguard from fighting Lionel, who's fighting they're all Lionel, Maekar, Baelor, and maybe a Kingsguard are all in a fight together. And I think that was a 2-on-1.
They could do a pretty good dance. That's what I'm saying. Like, they could have had a pretty good dance. Just imagine like Lionel's getting 2v1 by Kingsguardman. Baelor comes in, and then that kind of like freezes. Like, it's almost like the ultimate fucking cheat code.
Like, they could have showed that a little bit. It would have been interesting.
They could have showed a little bit more of that. That's my only... I don't even really care that they added more to the fight. I just wanted to see the other 6 fight.
Yeah, I think if you want to add more to the fight, I agree with you. Now that I didn't think about that, but now I think that would have been a way better way to add more to the fight, is just show what other people are doing during that short 3-minute. Like, almost if you do... me and you watched that movie with Matt Damon and the guy who plays Kylo Ren.
Yeah. The Duel? Is it The Duel?
The Duel. And it kind of just shows each person's 3 people's perspective. It shows like the same...
on the same thing.
Yeah. Like, it almost would have been cool to do that. Like, show Dunk's... Like, almost start off with like Raymond's perspective, and then... I don't know.
I don't need all that.
Or I don't know, something like that. You're right. Maybe
I think
not,
the Duel. I think I even dozed off in the Duel.
Just
too.
split the scenes.
Just again,
give me a few scenes.
As Dunk pulled off his helmet, which you can argue about, just like have him peer over and see a little bit of fight over here and a little bit of fight over there, and I would have been a little bit more satisfied. But I think it was good. I think the show only people will love this episode. I think.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think some book people will have some issues with it as well.
It's weird. I don't know why I have issues with it. Just like when I'm watching, I'm like, I just get that feeling sometimes like, I don't like that. Like, I don't know why. I don't like it. But I think for the most part, good.
I just don't love the flashback. I just don't think that's the best Dunk backstory either.
I don't think you need it.
Me and Rafe are running to the free cities. It just doesn't.
It just does. First off, like I said in the podcast, it doesn't seem to relate to the moment. Like, again, if Dunk would have gotten into a flea bottom, because in the books he thinks like, I'm not Dunk the Hedge Knight, but I'm Dunk a flea bottom, and then he like beats Arion with his shield and punches him a bunch. Like, he realizes he doesn't have like the sword fighting or the lance or whatever, but he can just beat the shit out of something because he's huge. He does have that thought, so I get the idea of the flashback there. It just like, that's not what they showed in the flashback. Dunk didn't win some street brawl in Flea Bottom. His friend died, and then he got picked up by Arlen in a way that doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
He didn't even get picked up.
It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Exactly. So like, how does that relate to where we are? So I don't hate the flashback. It just doesn't relate to the moment. So it's like, it feels out of place to me.
I think the flashback could have been better.
Next episode, last one. This is the one to me that they have to nail. Because to me, the big moment in this one, like the big moment for the, I guess we're kind of in spoiler section now.
Yeah, I would say so.
Spoiler section, I guess, from here on out, I'm just going to talk about what I expect from the last episode. This is in a non-spoiler. I'll say this is the one that I want them to nail. To me, the ending of the Duncan Egg novella is the part that
This is where you cry all the time.
Exactly, the part that makes you cry, the part that I want the most. So, if you don't know what happens, we're about to talk about it. So get out of here now. I'll play the spoiler alert here.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Go ahead, Jeff. What were you gonna say?
What is the part that you cry? He says the knight's word. He gets knighted, or he what? Why do you cry?
I don't know. I just like when, and I think it'll be interesting with how they're doing Makar. It's when Dunk's talking to Makar, and Dunk basically says, "I'll take Egg with me, but only if he can be on the road." First off, again, I don't think they've done it that well in the show so far. One of the big things for Dunk is he wants to be a dragon. Right? I don't know if you remember in the books, there's a dragonfly that flies over his little pond by his elm tree. And he's like, oh, dragonflies don't really look like dragons. And then when Makar comes, Makar says, Egg will only be a squire for you. So I want you to come to Summer Hall. We'll finish your own training and blah, 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 blah. What do you say about it? And I think Dunk looks over and sees another dragonfly and he thinks, what'll it be, Dunk? Dragonflies or dragons? And then Dunk decides, I'm going to take Egg. Because he thinks, all I've ever wanted is to go and live at a place like Summer Hall and train with real knights. So what Makar's offering him is everything he's ever wanted.
I mean, he literally just laid his sword down for Baelor before he died.
So why does Dunk not accept that? Why does he insist that, hey, we're going only if Egg comes on the road with me? And I don't know if we have a straight answer. There's just like this feeling, and Dunk, the way Dunk explains it is a good way to explain it. But I don't know how to also put it in words when he's like, hey, is Aryan the better for having eaten nothing but raw and bloody meat? And,
well, I think that's it. Is Egg needs to learn outside of the castle.
Yeah, exactly. And Dunk's maybe saying it's better. I think that's better just for everybody. Like Dunk knows that life. It's like, why wouldn't Dunk go and live? Is it really just he's doing it for Egg? So that moment where he hits Makar with all those lines, and Makar, the way they do it in the books is I think Makar just turns and walks away. Yeah. Doesn't say anything. And then like half an hour later, Egg shows up, or an hour later, Egg shows up.
I could see this Makar just turning and walking away.
And just that whole conversation with Makar, there's a lot of great stuff in there because I think at Baelor's funeral, Valar comes up, Baelor's son, and says to Dunk, like, Baelor had the makings of a great man. Like, he was a great man. He had the makings of a great king. Why would the gods take him
and leave you
in return for some hedge knight, or maybe even in return for a hedge knight's foot?
Right.
And then when Makar comes, Dunk talks about that too. He's like, I've sat here many hours by this elm tree wondering, because he's by himself now. Egg's not with him anymore. Right after that, he's back to by himself. So he's sitting here by himself. He's like, I've sat here wondering like why the gods would take not just Baelor, but both the Humphreys too, 3 good men, it just so a hedge knight could keep his foot. And Makor's like, what do the gods tell you? And he's like, I don't know, maybe someday they'll need my foot, right? Which is the big people have a lot of theories about why Dunk's foot might become important, but just that whole the way they have that conversation is heartfelt, bittersweet, I guess. Makes you tear up.
Makes you cry. You don't tear up.
Makes me, so we'll see. Again, if I don't cry in the next episode,
you know what kind of sucks is
they missed something.
Valar went from being kind of second in line to being out of the line.
No, he's second in line. Now he went from third in line to second in line. He went from second in line to first in line now.
Oh, okay. It doesn't
matter if they're alive,
So Valar, how does Valar die?
Great spring sickness. Pretty sure.
It wouldn't go to the next brother instead of Valar right away?
Nah.
Because he was already born. Once that heir is born, he's
second in line. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Strike that from the record.
No, it's confusing. Every time when I start getting deep in the Frey family tree, that one always trips me up. I always think like it's the next brother instead of this guy's got sons.
Yeah.
And then if that guy's got daughters, that's when it always gets fucking confusing.
Why? Because the son-in-law gets involved too?
Like say Baelor had one son and one daughter.
Uh-huh.
And say Makor's the only other son. So there's 2 sons. One has a boy and a girl. Makar has 2 boys.
Mm-hmm.
say Baelor's boy dies, then Maekar dies. Who's heir? Maekar's daughter?
Well, that's how you end up with...
or Maekar.
That's how you end up with...
A Dance of the Dragons.
Jaehaerys or Rhaenys, right?
Yeah, that's how you end up with a Dance of the Dragons on your hands.
Or
exactly.
Jaehaerys, what's Viserys?
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I got. We'll see. Next one. Ep 6 is very, very important.
It's good. It's better than you think. You'll watch it again. I think you'll be around like 8-4 territory.
Yeah, it's one of the things. Again, I think like it's a spectacle episode. Once I know what to expect book wise and what I'm getting from the books, I'll be happy.
I actually like the Dunk puked after. I forgot this in the flashback. Dunk drinks dirty ass water and then he's puking in the next scene. I was like, at least that's. Yeah, he should be puking because he just drank fucking mud water.
Yeah, been there. But all right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe. Even though I was kind of down on the episode. See you in the next one. Bye bye.